The fans shouted 3 words expressing who they wanted in the NFC title game.
The Cowboys are hated in Washington. We weren't even allowed to wear cowboy boots.
They thought they were the America's team. They were sort of arrogant. And you know, those guys were making comments like we couldn't park their cars.
They had everything packed, and I think they were headed, they brought everything with them because they were going to the Super Bowl. That game was probably the game for me. If I picked one game, it was that game.
The Redskins held a 14-3 lead just before the half. Defensive end Dexter Manley made a beeline for Cowboys quarterback Danny White.
I wanted to just put his lights out, but you know, it's just by God's grace that it happened.
A lot of times there's one play that becomes a catalyst for everything else. Everything else falls into place, and I think Dexter's play probably was that exact moment.
The Cowboys stayed within a touchdown into the 4th quarter.
When you're in a game like that, when it's back and forth and nip and tuck, who's gonna blink? That's basically what it boils down to. Who's gonna blink first? They blink.
Play action fake to Dorsett. Hit the ball well. Set up a screen, batted in the air, picked off by Darryl Grant. Touchdown, Washington Redskins! I don't believe it!
The end was near at that moment. I mean, it was that sense everybody had. They had their tails between their legs at that point. At least their horses did. They are Cowboys after all.
The reality hadn't quite hit me. I'm standing there on the sidelines, and all of a sudden you hear the fans just pounding away on those aluminum seats. It's shaking. The ground is shaking. It's like unbelievable. It was the most incredible moment in my life.
You want to get pumped up. You want somebody to get you excited about playing. You want to make a big, great play with everybody. Our fans did that for us. They did. And when they got those stands to shaking and everything, we could feel that on the field, and you rose up because of that.
People have real passion about the Redskins. It goes back from generation to generations. And they really care about this football team. They care about the Washington Redskins. And the 12th man was so important.
All those blue-collar people, they're me. They're like my mom and my dad. They're the same people that I grew up with. Those people are in the crowd. And to see that joy on their faces, that they're sharing that moment with you, it's irreplaceable.
I think we got the greatest fans in the world. I've said that before. It's the greatest sports franchise in the world. And this town, you know, that's the reason why I'd love to see us get back to that someday and have another parade. It was great. I mean, everybody was celebrating. And it was one of those rare experiences where I think just everybody kind of lost themselves for 3 or 4 hours, you know, had a great parade and celebrated the Super Bowl victory.
It's a part of the fabric of of our community. Obviously, the White House is huge in government, but Washington Redskins is the fabric of this community. I am it. It is me. I am it. It's special.